The purpose of this presentation is to promote gymnastics as a physical education activity in competitive sport at the junior and senior high school levels. A sound gymnastics unit can make a significant contribution to physical education. This contribution can be amplified if students are given the opportunity to play the game, to compete in gymnastics. This program evolved over a number of years with the thought of providing a safe, sound gymnastic skill progression which can be taught in a junior or senior high school physical education class. The events selected differ in some respects from those found in the traditional all-around gymnastics competition, which is used internationally. The term American all-around has been coined to describe the events and distinguish them from the traditional all-around gymnastics program. The modifications have been made to provide a safer, more practical and interesting experience for students. Each event has a progression of 5 set routines. The first 4 routines on each event, A through D, are composed of 5 skills each and are referred to as developmental routines. The elite or basic team routines contain more advanced but basic skills which should be mastered because they form the backbone of the optional routine. This progression has permitted the development of competition based on 5 divisions or skill levels, which are safe, relatively easy to judge, organize, administer, and are educationally sound. It permits students to compete at a more appropriate skill level and thus more adequately provide for individual differences in skill. The routines were filmed during the instructional clinics following the first and second annual Eastern Invitational Gymnastics Meet, a meet which was developed to encourage safe, sound gymnastics at the junior high school level. The routines are not performed perfectly, but do represent the better-than-average performance during the competition and were used to illustrate the routines for new coaches, to point out ways of improving performances for others, and to serve as a basis for discussion of judging. The A routines on each event are composed of the most basic lead-up skills in an effort to provide a level of competition, an opportunity for success for the most ranked beginner. Gross errors in technique were pointed out as they occurred. For example, this was to be a shoulder roll, not a front roll. Skill selection, progression, and the drill required to perform routines are basic safety factors built into all events. On strip floor exercise, skills to develop balance, roll, cartwheel, and spring progression are stressed. The American all-around strip floor exercise has replaced the traditional event, which requires a 40 by 40 foot mat. A strip of mats 40 feet long and 6 feet wide has proven to be a practical solution to the cost and space problem of floor exercise. A more important and effective solution is the problem of injuries which occurred from the practice of performing on a bare floor. At the first clinic, college students who served as judges for the event performed the basic team routines which are now the basis of competition in the elite division. In general, the elite routines contain 2 or more new skills in the progression, but are primarily composed of skills previously taught in the developmental routines. The elite routines are longer and give students some idea of the content of optional routines and used as such. Because of the possible danger of some of the skills, the protection and assistance provided by a spotter is important. However, at this stage in their gymnastic development, most students are able to handle the responsibility and challenge of spotting. Side horse is a relatively simple event mechanically, but very frustrating and difficult in terms of skill development. Fortunately, safety is not a critical factor when progression is followed. The routines on side horse stress the development of support, circle, scissor, and travel skills. Set routines are relatively easy to judge and provide excellent training grounds for judges. With a few instructions, junior high school students do a more than adequate job in judging. Begin judging by learning the routine, as a skill only partially shown, and the addition or deletion of a skill are considered major errors in performance. Judges start with a score of 10, which is considered perfect, and deduct for errors in performance. 1 to 2 tenths are deducted for minor errors such as slight break in form or poor position. 3 to 4 tenths are deducted for medium errors such as a slight stop or a more serious break in form. 5 tenths to a full point are deducted for major errors such as a fall or improper routine interpretation. Why not practice judging by picking out the errors in some of the performances? In the meet, a number of teams supplemented their coaching staff by using students who were entered in the upper divisions to coach performers who competed in the lower divisions. Since most ring cables are not adjustable, we've used an 8-inch safety mat for dismounts. These mats are normally used for training purposes only. Here we have an example of a major error. The L position is only partially shown. Developmental routines on still rings develop the strength, balance, and swing techniques necessary in performing the basic team routines. Trampoline is not a part of the international all-around program, but it is an important part of the American all-around. Trampoline developed as a competitive sport and physical education activity in America. It is considered by many to be America's most important contribution to the world of gymnastics. It's a fun event which students enjoy and has attracted many students to gymnastics. It can have a great deal of carryover to the other gymnastic events and to sports. It is an important part of many physical education programs. Teams are designed to develop landing technique, twist, and somersault progression. Safety need not be a problem on the trampoline if progression is followed. Routines are stressed, and the height of the bounce is controlled. Only 1 foot of height should be allowed in instructional classes. 2 feet was maximum in meet situations. The lack of frame pads and visible spotters are rather conspicuous by their absence in the films. They were important fixtures in the meet. They were required. As the skills become more advanced, even in the developmental routines, spotting should be taught and stressed. Safety in trampoline is not a problem if progression is used, routines are stressed, height is controlled, and the event is adequately supervised. As is true with most other events, safety on the parallel bars is provided by following progression, selection of skills, use of routines, and controlling the height of the bars. For the developmental routine, skills have been selected which permit the bars to remain at low setting. During the meet, the bars were set at a fixed height of 4 feet for the first 4 divisions. Only adjustment in width were permitted. For instructional programs, it is recommended that one setting for both height and width be established and used. Skills were selected on this event to develop kip, balance, cast, turn, and swing fundamentals. The clinic was used to correct interpretation of routines. The second annual meet resulted in these errors being corrected, such as the dismount on this routine. The turn should have been inward on the dismount. Each year, the performances have improved. Interpretation of routines are more accurate. In some cases, the form, style, flair, and technical execution has reached the point where judges want to award part of the score for virtuosity. It is truly exciting to watch a young gymnast perform even the most basic skills when they've achieved this perfection in their performance. The bars were raised in the elite division to permit a full swing to be used. Point of view of safety, it makes little sense to have the bar set at 8 feet to teach and practice beginning skills. The major safety factor, skills were selected for for the developmental routines which could be performed with the bar at the lowest setting. The purpose of the developmental routines on this event are to develop circle and kip fundamentals. Chalk properly used makes an important contribution to safety. No gymnastics class should be without it. To prevent hand problems on the horizontal bar, practice sessions on the event should be short but frequent to build up calluses required to perform more advanced skills and routines. The bar in the elite division was used at a height which permitted the use of a bent knee full swing, but was still low enough to permit effective spotting. The American All-Around is served as the basis of the instructional program, as a part of intramural programs, and as a part of a varsity program. It is rewarding to watch students progress individually through the sequence of routines, year by year developing sound gymnastic skills safely. Try gymnastics. Students can benefit from, and they do enjoy, the American All-Around.